For the first time, 4 Druze villages in the Israeli-controlled side of the Golan Heights will be able to participate in local municipal elections in Israel, to be held at the end of October. The decision was made by Israel's Interior Ministry after some of the residents appealed to the Supreme Court, but that left some very angry. In 1967, Israel exerted control over this village, leaving many of these residents cut off from their family members on the other side in Syria. Salim Safadi served as municipal council leader for one of the 4 villages, Masada. Safadi is staunchly against municipal elections in his village.
The state should choose whomever it wants, according to the correct criteria. I would prefer the state just select the person, according to the proper criteria, the way you would choose a school principal or a manager of any kind.
Unlike those Druze who resided within Israeli territory before 1948 and are thus classified as Israeli citizens, those who live in the Golan Heights, which belonged to Syria before 1967, identify as Syrian. They won't take Israeli citizenship and retain permanent resident status. Israel's passing of the nation-state bill several months ago caused many of its Druze citizens to feel marginalized, as the bill sought to emphasize the Jewish character of the state. Majd al-Shams is another village, the largest of the 4 Druze Syrian communities on the Israeli-controlled side of the Golan Heights, along with Ein Kiniyeh, Masadeh, and Bukata. Sitting on a land contested between Israel and Syria results in an almost inevitable conflict of identities.
I am definitely Syrian. We are living here under occupation. I am not Israeli. I am a Syrian under occupation. I was born that way. I'm a Syrian. I am not Israeli, and I don't support Israel.
I'm completely Syrian. I live in the Golan Heights under Israeli occupation.
The Syrian coat of arms still proudly hangs in the town square, and many here see holding local elections as normalizing Israel's sovereignty over the area.
I'm against elections. We have been under Israeli occupation for 50 years. The government selected a local leader in the past, and we supported that, but we don't want elections here.
Though there may be a gap between what is being said and what the residents really feel.
We have mixed feelings. It's sometimes hard to differentiate between the declarations made out loud and what people really believe. Better not to go into people's hearts. Each person should feel however he wants to feel and think whatever he wants to think. I was a municipal council leader here, and I want to pay my taxes and have my village be protected, to have gardens and schools, and every person should believe what he wants to believe. In a democratic country, you don't need to punish people for what they think.
And some still believe elections are the right way to select a local leader.
If we look at the process of the government selecting a local leader as compared with the residents being able to vote for their local leader, there is no doubt that elections lead to more equality and are more fair for the residents.
This Druze village, Majd al-Shams, is really positioned exactly on the border between Israel and Syria. If you look just behind me, you can see the border fence that runs along the outskirts of this village. That border fence draws the line, and just beyond it is the buffer zone. That's a ceasefire buffer zone that was negotiated and signed between Israel and Syria. And just about 40 miles beyond that lies Damascus. So these residents really feel very close to Syria, both in their identities and in proximity, though they still remain under Israeli control. And these villagers remain caught in between. Emily Rose, I-24 News.